Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in again to RAERAEs Review. I'm going to be talking about the Equalizer. Yes, season 5, episode 5. We halfway through. They always have 10 episodes, child. If they have more, that'll be a miracle. It was so good. I love this show with Queen Latifah and other folks. Y'all be forgetting folks' names. You know, I guess ain't nobody as big as Queen Latifah. Dana Owens, okay? But y'all, this was a good episode. It was kind of boring, but it was still good. So go ahead and listen. But before you do, I'm on my way to 1,000 subscribers, so please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Share it with the folks. I appreciate it. And please like the video. That's where the thumbs up comes in. And if you got some comments, let me know. I appreciate all the feedback. I've been corrected, and I appreciate it. Thanks again, y'all, for tuning in. Now, the Equalizer. Now, this is about a comedian. His name is Criag Harris, and he almost ran over after his set, and his wife comes out to see about him and everything. He's up and coming, and you know he's big around town. Everybody knows, you know, he's like where everybody knows his name, like Norm from Cheers. And you know, even Robin knows him because after she meets up with his wife, who actually called out for her, she pretty much figured out who he was by his by his wife talking about him. But before she actually gets in deep, she actually goes into the to Mel's bar, and Mel is pretty much gung-ho, and Robin is really, you know, cool about things. I'm like, yes. Now, also it's drama at home, right? It's always some drama at home with either Aunt Vi, Dee, her relationship with Marcus, Detective Dante, or her ex-husband Miles, who was Dee's daddy. So Robin and Aunt Vi are talking over coffee, talking about, well, I may not need no coffee with you, because I was supposed to go meet Marcus, who is, you know, also Detective Dante, for coffee. And Aunt Vi was like, ooh, I like that man. Me too. I like Detective Dante. He, you know, I always like the rough, rugged, you know, chocolate man who always got something to prove. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so then Aunt Vi, her laptop kind of catches. I was gonna say something else, but anyway, Aunt Vi's laptop catches the eye of Robin, where it says breast biopsy pending results. Aunt Vi was like, don't even make nothing about it. You know, it is whenever it come in, it ain't nothing to be, you know, much concerned about. And I'm not trying to worry about it either. So go on, do what you gotta do. Yeah, girl, we're going to find out if Aunt Vi got some issues, child, with her boobies. Then Dee is all disappointed coming in, getting some juice, talking about she all disappointed in college tours because she finds out that she may be a possibility through DEI eyes. And then because she's going to these Ivy League, you know, PWI colleges that her dad really wants her to go to. But you know how it is. We just want the best for our kids. Whatever is the best. Hey, whatever it is, we want for our kids. Because everybody, okay, I shouldn't say everybody, but quite a few people have a problem with how Black people move out of the ghetto, per se, and move to more of a predominantly white area to go to better schools, because that's how it is. You know, the more white the area is, the better the schooling. And unfortunately, you know, because of race, that's how they do, you know, environment. That's why there's a socioeconomic factor. That's the whole basis for socioeconomic factor. It's not because people in more impoverished neighborhoods don't want better. It's just that through legislature and racism, they're treated less than. So of course we want to, want better for our children with the better everything. And that's where her dad is coming from. I get it. Because I moved from technically the ghetto. Nah, I mean, I'll say this. I've never had the opportunity to live in the ghetto slums or, what they call the ghetto. I've always lived around it, but I know I moved to a different area once my child got to a certain age to where he would have to be more independent. And I wanted better for him safety wise. Safety is always a concern, okay? And we make no apologies for that. I can tell you that right now. I don't need to, stay woke in order and dodge bullets at the same time. That's not the type of life I led growing up. My parents were still are. Well, one of them passed away. But, growing up, we were, I guess they call middle class. And it was, always a pleasant experience in the neighborhood. Didn't have to, actually, we didn't even have to lock our doors at night, but that was the 80s, you know what I'm saying? But as we grew up, those are the kind of values that I grew up with. That's what I gave my kids. So he had, the better of of the situation that we were in. And I made a way. So it is what it is. So I understand her dad wanting her to have better, but it all depends on what better is. We'll find out later on in the episode. But anyway, she's just, a little down because of DEI was mentioned and everything. And I wouldn't want to go to a school where they mention DEI anyway. I mean, what you mention that to me for? Especially when her resume is impeccable as it is. So Robin has coffee with Marcus, Detective Dante, and they're just, having a good old time. And then her buzzer rings off, and that's the client I was telling you about. So Craig's wife, the comedian, lets Robin know that someone's trying to murk her husband, and she wants to know what's going on. And he doesn't know that she was visiting Robin, So she goes to find him doing one of his practice sessions, but he doesn't want her help. So as he storms off, pretty much, before that, Robin is surprised to see Mel at work with Harry, just to say that, because she didn't really understand or know that Mel was all the way back. Now, last episode, Mel did come to the rescue, and it was like, they thought it was a fluke, but apparently Mel is back, and that's good for Robin because episodes 1 and 2 and 3. What episode we on? 4, 5. Episodes 1, 2, and 3. She was really concerned because she's getting her butt whooped. I mean, I think episode 2, or was it 1, where Miles had to patch her up real bad because she was looking like the cat dragged her in for real. Okay, so back to Craig. So pretty much Robin's surprised. Robin introduced herself to Craig, and after his show, but he doesn't want her help. And then he kind of storms off, and then Robin knows that his brake fluid is all on the ground. And then he, just the next block, runs into the barrier, those barrels of water that they put as barriers for whatever type of construction they're about to do or just finished. And she lets him know that your brakes were tampered with. He was like, yeah, I know someone's trying to kill me because I hired them. She was like, what? You hired them? So then when they come back from commercial, she realizes that because of his financial woes, he was willing to, risk his life to satisfy the debts that he had because of his financial woes. And, he was pretty much more, how do they say? He was worth more dead than alive. And that's what he was willing to do. So now they're just trying to figure out who's doing this. And so he gives them the names of his buddies and everything. And pretty much we just start dishing out one by one who is trying to take Craig off the set. Now, as according to Criag telling Robin, the plan was for it to, the deadline pretty much is the next day. So they're really trying to get him, taken care of. And they're just trying to, wean on down who it could be. So next we'll see Marcus and his mom. And pretty much they're talking about his dad and all the things he'll need according to Marcus, all of the rehab. And the mom was like, well, you get somebody else to do it because I'm done with your daddy. I'm divorcing him. It is what it is. And I don't care what condition he is. He ain't going to be my issue real soon. And Marcus was like, Mom, what you mean? She's like, what you mean? What you mean? You know how he is? And he was like, but, right now he's, living differently. He has his amnesia. She's like, I don't give a dog on what he got now. Marcus' mom done had it, and she does not want to help in his recovery. Oh, he must have been hell on wheels, child. Next, we see Robin and her team investigating everything. So they go through his friends. One of Criag's friends had a business deal that went bad because Criag announced it in the interview that it wasn't worth the pot nor the money. I mean, a pot nor the window, and it lost money, and now he's, struggling real bad. His name is Trey. Another friend shared that, pretty much Criag got his girlfriends and married one or two of them. And, so now that's a vendetta. So the third friend, Criag got his car repoed. Child. Well, with all this going on, who's trying to kill Criag? So let's go back to Vi and D. And they're talking about HBCUs. So D was all depressed and she wanted Vi to pick her up and carry on. So Vi got a chance for Vi got a chance for D to talk with some folks from different HBCUs that she knows about. And D was just enamored. She was like, wow. So they're letting her know that it's good that you want to go to the best of the best, but sometimes we have to be celebrated and not tolerated. And that's where we are at these HBCUs. And for the most part, that's what it is. Now, there's issues everywhere. Don't get me wrong. Ain't nothing foolproof. Ain't nothing, even with the PWIs, there's, chances and opportunities for her to be celebrated and not tolerated. But for the most part, because of, racism is in the fiber being of everything in this country, most likely you will run across that. And, no kid can really handle that well. Hell, most adults can't, but excuse me. It's just a matter of, your choice and what you want to do in life. So next we see Criag running lines with a friend. I think his name is, what's his name? Cliff. Look over my note. Yeah, Cliff. Running lines with Cliff outside the park. Robin and Mel show up, and then this lunch is delivered out of nowhere. And pretty much, he, it comes and intercepted by Robin. She smells it. She said, "Ooh, it's a strong scent of cyanide." And so they stopped the delivery guy, pretty much hemmed him up, talking about, where does this come from? Well, this guy asked me to deliver it. He said he needed me to deliver it to such and such. He paid me $40 to do it. It's like, who, what? So then they find out who it is. They run around the corner and it's Trey. The first dude that they interviewed, and that was the dude that the business deal had gone wrong, and now he got a whole lot of money that he owed the folks. So he was just saying how he just pretty much they figured it out that he just wanted to, join in. Now he wasn't involved in none of the previous attempts, like the other three friends. They were investigated and they were found that they had viable, what do you call it? Anyway, they weren't the ones that were involved in the previous attempts. Alibis, thank you. They have viable alibis. And so Trey, the first guy I told you about, where he suffered a lot of, money loss through business deals because of what Criag said in an interview, he wanted to just add this to the dossier of attempts and not be caught. So pretty much they got him on this, calling the police and everything. So he about to get hemmed up. But all the other attempts, they're trying to figure, well, we all know that he wasn't a part of the other ones, just this one. So we got to find out who really is trying to take Criag off the set. So Robin hosts has to go to what did I say? Hold on a second. What did I say? Robin has to go. Oh, so Robin has to go see Marcus. She got a text to see him. So they're back at the spot over there overlooking the water, all romantic and carrying on. And they almost kiss, because the feelings are strong, child. Look, when you grown, good and grown, and fighting off a kiss, let alone anything else, is just all this tension. Child, I know. Ooh, child, when you got to fight the feeling. Ooh, fight the feelings, child. Anyway, so they fight the feeling. A lot of flirting going on, talking about his, personal life. And pretty much, she's like, well, I'm here. I got to go. But, I'll check in with you later. Let me know what's going on and whatnot. Not what. So then Mel takes Craig and wife to a safe house since they know that the real, killer's out there. And she have them make a list of who wants him hurt. And the wife is just reiterating to him, no matter what, I got your back. Now I'm looking at her a little, it's always the one next to you. That's what they say. It's always the one next to you that's really doing the dirt. Like we find out last time when that guy's wife was trying to be a so-called Ghostbuster type person. And it was her trying to monoxide, what was that? Carbon monoxide the folks to get out of the building so she can do a deal. Anyway, so they're just making out a list and he's just frustrated. So next we see Dee has a talk with the HBCU students and she is just happy. She's ecstatic and she's just, enamored about everything. And she's getting all of the info, good and bad. And I'm glad that she's meeting up with folks. And then we have a little step show that they gave us. That was a little cute. We used to do step in high school. That's when it was really big. What's that show? After the Cosby Show came on. Not Living Single, child. Where Denise went to Hillman. Child, what's the name of the show? Anyway, I know what I'm talking about. The show that had Don Lewis and Sinbad and Kadeem Hardison, Jasmine Guy. Eventually, Tupac was on there a couple of times. Jada Pinkett Smith, all kind of folks was on there. Cree Summer, Daryl Bell. I know all the names of people, but can't remember the doggone show. Child. Different World. There you go. It's a different, what's her name? Aretha sang it. I'm letting her sing. I ain't gonna sing after Aretha, child, even though she gone. She sang the hell out that song. Yeah, so it was a pretty good show. We used to have all the HBCU jackets and sweaters and everything. It was a really good time for college enrollment. I was actually accepted to Jackson State University, but I didn't go. Unfortunately, I just wasn't, what do you call it? Not pushed, but I wasn't really that thrilled to go. I wanted to go, but I guess I was, it just wasn't pushed within myself. I didn't have enough courage to go. But anyway, what else going on? So now Harry got some intel on the ex-wife. Of course, they're trying to look into everybody. So they're looking to the ex-wife. Her name was Markeisha, who may be the person. So pretty much he tells Robin she's on her way. No, sorry. So they're looking into Markeisha and they pull up something recently because he had a lot of intro into the comedy world, just like Kevin Hart talking about his ex. And unlike Kevin Hart's ex, who enjoyed the fruits of his labor, Markeisha didn't, because there was no fruits. It was just a lot of bad apples and she got laughed at. And even though she's a professional woman and she has things going on for herself, it was always brought up. How does she feel about him going on tour? Going on tour? What? And then she stormed out of the interview when she found out that he was on tour. So that was a spark for Harry and Robin to look for. So now we know that Marquisha has a vendetta, right? So then Robin tells Craig that we think your ex Marquisha has something to do with this. He's like, no, it's not her because she's on her way over here now. She's like, what you mean she over there now? She's coming over there right now. He said, yeah, I already talked to her. She's on her way. We're going to work some things out. She's like, get out of there now. Leave now. So he hurries up. Now, first of all, listen, grown folks know when you in a safe house and it already told you no one is supposed to know you there. Why are you inviting your ex over? They said nobody is supposed to know you there. Safe house. Anyway, so as soon as he getting into his car, here she come with a crowbar, child. She is knocking out every window she could see, and he finally get his keys. He's scared and peeing on himself and everything. So then Robin shows up. And pretty much, manhandles her, and then the wife and Mel shows up, like, take care of her while I go see about him. So while she's talking about taking care of the ex-wife, he kind of rolls off and storms off, and pretty much is just startled, driving with no windows, child. I mean, none. I mean, he may have two, but he just he just drives off. And he goes to the Comedy Store. So I follow them, and Mel gets the wife gets situated to somewhere else. Mel follows right to the Comedy Store where they're following Craig. So then Craig comes into the Comedy Store. He's bothered and carrying on and can't believe what happened. And so he tells the showrunner, hey, who's on for tonight? I want to go up. And the showrunner looks at the list and bumps Cliff. He bumps Cliff off the list, and kind of find out at the same time as he's doing that, Harry and Robin are on the phone. And she's like, tell me, no. Mel and Harry are on the phone. And so Mel is talking to Harry about now, mind you, he just announced he was going on his tour on Tuesday, but how long was his lineup, on for? It was on there for about a week or two, whatever. And then so she finds out that his buddy, the one he's been running lines with, the one that's been pretty much doing what he says, being his his go-to helper with his with everything, and pretty much okay to just take the back seat to, that's Cliff. Come to find out, Craig replaced Cliff on the tour, and now Craig is headlining, so that's another motive. Come to find out, that's exactly who the heck it is trying to take Craig off the set, is Cliff. So now Mel we know Mel was running over to help with Robin, but she got some more details. And they figure out who it is. And as soon as they figure it out, like I said, they pan back to the comedy show. And that's when, what's his name? Cliff is upset that Craig is taking over for him, because now Cliff won't have any set that night, according to the showrunner. So Craig goes on stage, and everybody's like, hey, Craig, what's up, man? Seen you in a long time. Yeah. So pretty much Craig is giving this soliloquy type of ode to those who I have wronged. And next we see Cliff in the back getting his backpack, and we know what's in the backpack. His firearm, child. So he get his Glock out, child. And ain't nobody seeing this, okay? It's a whole bunch of people in backstage, but ain't nobody seeing him pull out this Glock. This 38, maybe 40 Glock out his bag. So he goes on stage, points the Glock at him. Yeah, you took over for me. You know how they do. Once we find out who did it, then they start saying why and how they feel and how their feelings was hurt and what they did to him in third grade and what happened to him in first grade and what happened to him in high, all that violin stuff. So that's when the help comes. That's when Robin and Mel comes in. So right behind him is Robin, tackles him down, And then the guy lets off a shot and it gets Criag in the shoulder, but he gonna be all right, y'all. And Mel is the backup. She did real well. Pretty much Mel figured it all out. All right, figured it all out. And they saved the day. Yay! So next we see Marcus and his mom. Memphis is, and she pretty much gives him a big old bag of the letters that he returned back to his dad back in the day. The letters that the dad returned to Marcus back in the day. All of the letters that were written. I think it was the dad writing Marcus. Anyway, letters that she saved instead of them being thrown in the trash. They were saved. And she said, this should help you with your dad. After you write this big old check for his rehab, go ahead and sort through this and get your mind right. And the mom pretty much ain't changed her mind because, like she said, he going to rehab. He ain't going back to her house. She probably moved and got a new man child. Anyway, the mom is like, gave him a kiss. It's like, we're going to be all right. They mend the fences and they good. And then next thing you know, we see an open mic at Males and people singing and carrying on just like the other episode. She's just having fun at her bar. And then Craig's friends come. Not Trey, the one that tried to kill him with cyanide, but the other two. And so they come, forgive him and everything. I was like, okay, things are going to be all right. Plus, he about to make some money on his tour, so I'm pretty sure he's going to pay him back. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, other than that, we see Dee. She's going to visit some HBCUs with the help of her dad, and she's excited. And Aunt Vi gets some good news. She doesn't have breast cancer, and everything is great over there. And that's great. And then, she got some strong feelings for Marcus, but she going to hold off and just be his friend because, he still live in California. He's just out here visiting. So that was episode 5, y'all. Hope y'all liked it. I hope you watched the show. If not, thank you for listening to my reviews. All righty. And I'll catch you later. Bye. All day.